First in high definition from the station on your side, this is WAVY News 10.
A Virginia Beach Marine made the supreme sacrifice, and today family and friends said farewell. Good evening. I'm Katie Collett in for Nicole Livas.
And I'm Tom Schaad. Enemy fire killed Marine Corps reservist Samuel Griffith last week in Afghanistan, and today, 10 on your side's Ava Hurdle attended his memorial. Ava.
Tom, Major Griffith was on his third tour of duty 5 weeks before he was killed. Remembered this day with colorful flowers, uplifting music, and kind words.
Sam was an Eagle Scout, a 1997 alumnus of Penn State University.
Hundreds gathered to celebrate the life of Major Samuel Griffith.
As crushed as we all are by Sam's death, take comfort in knowing that he died as a warrior with his boots on.
Died in Afghanistan serving as an air controller. It was far more dangerous than his previous tours as a fighter pilot. One of his team members wrote a letter to the family that reads in part,
"His decision to pull me and put himself in my place ultimately and tragically led to Sam losing his life. I would have been in the same position doing the same thing he was if he had not swapped with me. His choice to assume the risk and face the danger in my place indirectly resulted in my life being spared that day."
His sister recalled a brother who was an honorable man.
He was a man of God. He cherished his family, his wife, his sons, and his parents. He could make us laugh till we cried. What I wouldn't give to hear that laugh again.
Outside, a military salute near Griffith's prized Mustang Fastback. A significant and special goodbye. His widow and two sons watch, remembering a hero for his honor, courage, and conviction. New at 6, a special tribute to Major Griffith from his widow. I'm Ava Hurdle, 10 on your side.
And a memorial fund for Major Griffith's widow and two young sons is set up now at Navy Federal under his name.
Chesapeake police now say a man's death is suspicious following a fire in his home. Police say 37-year-old Brian Riddick died Friday in a house fire on Bugle Drive. That's in the Western Branch section of the city. The Chesapeake Fire Department says it turned over the investigation to police because of the suspicious nature of the case. Officials have not released how Riddick died or the cause of the fire. Investigators haven't said what sparked the house fire that killed a 2-year-old Elizabeth City boy. Tanisha Brown says she was out buying diapers when the fire started Saturday night. Brown says her grandmother was taking care of the children. She told 10 on your side she regrets not being there to save Jamari.
I would tell him I love him and I miss him, and I wish I was there to get him out. I just miss him. Mommy miss his son. I lost him and lost everything. Everything's gone.
Now, firefighters told Brown they found Jamari's body on the other side of the front door. She believes he tried to reach for the knob to try and get out.
And investigators say it was a lamp that started the late-night fire in Newport News. Firefighters had to rescue several residents in the Riverwalk Apartments on Bellwood Road. Residents say they heard smoke detectors going off late last night and then saw the thick black smoke everywhere. Firefighters rescued 4 adult residents and brought them down by ladders.
I almost jumped off the window because I can't even breathe, none of that stuff.
The smoke was so bad I couldn't get downstairs, so I broke out the screen in the back window, and that's when I saw the flame.
And thankfully, no one was hurt, but 4 apartments are condemned. Residents say the apartment manager is trying to find vacant homes for those displaced. The Red Cross is helping out too.
We have new information about the 5 people found dead in a mobile home on the Eastern Shore. The sheriff's office identified the victims. Investigators say 37-year-old Esteban Quintero Gonzalez forced his way into the mobile home and shot and killed his 2 children, 10-year-old Jesus Angel Quintero Colon and 9-year-old Ana Estefani Quintero Colon. He also shot their mother, 27-year-old Evelyn Colon Matias, and 20-year-old Zayde Reyes, who lived at the home. Deputies say Quintero Gonzalez then took his own life. Investigators found the bodies Thursday in the small Accomack County town of Gargatha after responding to a call about a possible suicide. We're told both parents were involved in a custody battle over the children. The woman accused in a torture case that involved a local man appeared in a Philadelphia courtroom today. 51-year-old Linda Weston is charged with kidnapping and abusing 4 mentally disabled adults to get their government benefit checks. Police say they found 40-year-old Herbert Knowles of Norfolk chained to a boiler in a basement. We'll have the disturbing details that came out during today's testimony tonight on WAVY News 10 at 5:30.
The U.S. is watching North Korea after the unexpected news of Kim Jong-il's death came down this morning. NBC's Michelle Franzen tells us Kim had been grooming his youngest son to succeed him.
His health was in decline, but the death of Kim Jong-il still caught the world and the U.S. by surprise.
The real question now is what comes next. His death was very sudden, and it doesn't appear that there's a firm plan in place for succession.
Kim reportedly transferred power to his son 15 months ago. The Obama administration says it is watching developments closely to see how North Korea's army of more than 1 million adapts to the newest leader.
We reiterate our hope for improved relations with the people of North Korea and remain deeply concerned about their well-being.
Stability is key, and the stakes are high.
North Korea has nuclear weapons, and we're worried about whose hands those may fall into.
The U.S. has been considering renewing nuclear talks with North Korea, and recently, through food aid negotiations with China, had made progress on efforts for North Korea to suspend its uranium enrichment program. Senator Dick Lugar says a meeting with all the key countries, including Russia and China, is critical.
This is not simply a bilateral situation. It's one in which the world is watching, and China and the United States are at the focal point, but others are going to have to help.
Concern in Washington, D.C., but in Manhattan's Koreatown, there was a sense of relief.
This guy's young. It's not running a country. It's not like running a restaurant, so that's kind of dangerous, but you know, overall, it should be a good thing.
Reaction to his death as the world watches for North Korea's next move. Michelle Franzen, NBC News, New York.
We're on your side with a consumer alert. Tyson Fresh Meats is recalling 40,000 pounds of ground beef chuck for possible E. coli contamination. The affected meat has a best before or freeze-by date on November 13th. It was supposed to be shipped to distributors in 16 states, including North Carolina. Samples at a Nebraska plant tested positive for E. coli. There haven't been any human illnesses reported, and Tyson says there shouldn't be, as long as the meat's handled and cooked properly. Symptoms of E. coli include diarrhea, abdominal cramping, and vomiting.
Nissan's recalling more than 60,000 cars and SUVs. The automaker says a battery cable problem could cause the engines to stall in 2010 and 2011 Sentras equipped with MR20 engines. Nissan is also recalling 2011 Juke small crossover SUVs because a turbocharger bracket trouble can cause the engine to stall. You'll find more information about both of these recalls on WAVY.com.
Governor Bob McDonnell trims the state budget while adding millions to pay for education, but that's not necessarily good news for everyone. We'll explain, new at 5:30.
And back from Iraq, another happy homecoming just in time for the holidays. You're going to hear from the soldiers who just returned to Hampton Roads.
And all of these lights on and around Williamsburg, a home there actually helps support the community.
This is the winner of WAVY.com's Holiday Lights Contest. We're going to take you through this winter wonderland, this electric winter wonderland, next.
And we're not getting any winter weather. It was cold last night. We are seeing it storm, though, out into the Midwest. We'll tell you what's affecting us and what will affect us with our forecast in just a few minutes.
You're watching WAVY News 10 at 5 with Tom Schaad, Nicole Libus, and Super Doppler 10 Chief Meteorologist Don Slater.
Take a look now. The sun goes down. You see a winter wonderland of lights in Williamsburg.
This is the winner of WAVY.com's Holiday Lights Contest. And tonight, Chopper 10 pilot John Massey is actually on the ground with the people who strung about 150,000 lights, the Emery family.
And John, first of all, I've never seen you wear a hat like that. And second of all, there's just about everything you can imagine right behind you.
Indeed there is, Tom and Katie. We're right on the property of the Emery family. Randy and Elaine have done a fantastic job. They are the winners of our contest this year. As you can see right behind me, there's over 150,000 lights that you're looking at right now. We They received over 40,000 votes during the contest this year. I'm going to bring in Randy and Elaine right now with me. And I've got a couple of questions for you. First, just how long, Randy, did it take you to set all this up?
Well, the whole month of November. I usually start around Halloween, and it takes me the whole month of November. And I turn it on the Sunday after Thanksgiving.
Now, here's the big question. What does this cost you in electricity for this many lights?
Well, last year was about $300, and I expect it to be a little higher this year because I've added about 12,000 lights.
Well, that's not too bad considering. You got that Santa Claus look going as well. Elaine, I did want to ask you, in addition to just the lights, you guys are also supporting a local food bank. Could you tell me a little bit about that?
We came up with that idea about 3 years ago, so we just started asking our family and friends to bring out canned goods as they came to look at the lights. And we collected 5 boxes last year, and we donated it to Fish, and we're hoping to double that this year and get 10 boxes.
Well, we definitely thank you for that as well. This, as I said, we showed you this on our website. They had over 40,000 votes that made them #1. If you do want to come out and see them, they are located at 112 Timberwood Drive in Williamsburg. You can look that up on Google or look it up on your GPS. Come right to it because there's so much to see down both sides of it, up on top of the house, and even in the garden in the back. Coming up at 5:30, we're going to hop up in the air in Chopper 10, see if we can get an aerial shot of it to show you at 5:30. Tom and Katie.
Absolutely beautiful. John, has anyone ever told Mr. Emery that he might look a little bit, just a little like Santa Claus?
Well, Katie was just asking me, has anybody ever told you that you do have that Santa Claus look?
Yeah, quite a few people, they've asked me to play Santa Claus, but I need to grow a little bit more here.
Just about the time you're ready to retire, you'll be ready to take over that job. Huh?
That's it.
That's true.
Either that or Ernest Hemingway. I mean, one of the two. All right, thanks, John. Well, a lot of you will be leaving home for the holidays. Millions of Americans are just taking off. We're on your side with what you should do before you arrive at the airport to avoid those travel troubles.
And these military men and women are finally where they want to be, home. And 10 on Your Side was there for the cheers, tears, hugs, and kisses. We'll tell you about the mission they just completed.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Colonel Brian Spalla, working at Transit Center Manas in the Kyrgyz Republic. And this is a shout out to my 4 wonderful little kids in Yorktown, Virginia, Ariel, Brianna, Sierra, and Dylan. I love you guys, and I'm looking forward to Christmas, but next Christmas we'll be together.
And we're certainly happy about that. Well, the last group of local National Guard troops is back from Iraq. The soldiers returned to family and friends in Portsmouth this morning. 10 on Your Side, Stephanie Harris tells us about their unprecedented mission. Stephanie?
Well, Katie, these soldiers drove more than 50,000 miles. They delivered food, water, gas, all the necessities to all the bases in Iraq for their final destinations. They did it without any injuries, so everyone came home safely.
This is when minutes seem like hours. Families waiting for the first boot to step off the bus.
Good job, Private. Appreciate it. Welcome home. Welcome back.
But they'll have to wait just a little while longer for a hug.
Hey, what's up, baby?
These soldiers follow rules.
Truth. Attention.
First, they get marching instructions.
Stay safe. Enjoy the holidays. You're not with your battle buddies anymore, you're with your family, so act like it, Roger.
Then they march. It must take a lot of self-control to hold back after 6 long months. And just when it seems they can't stand the wait any longer, a few more words.
Before you stand citizen soldiers.
Then at long last,
Specialist McFerrin, I understand you have been given the honor of first kiss.
the wait is over.
How you doing? Who did your hair? Mommy did it. Oh, yeah. I like it. It looks nice.
The last of our local soldiers is back from Iraq. And it was definitely worth the wait.
Absolutely. I think it's time for our boys to be home with us.
And about 300 soldiers in all returned over the last 2 days to Fredericksburg, Norfolk, and Portsmouth. And the convoy escort team tells us they reacted to 22 enemy attacks from small arms fire and indirect fire, along with IED detonations, all safely home. Stephanie Harris, 10 on your side.
And hundreds from the Virginia National Guard returned to Norfolk after serving 5 months in Iraq. Jubilation everywhere. The men and the women from Task Force 183 got a hero's welcome as they filed through the doors. The group was eventually dismissed and then reunited with their loved ones during the deployment. The soldiers traveled thousands of miles across Iraq, escorting fuel, ammunition, food, and anything else the military needed.
And we are certainly so glad to have all of them home. And it's been great weather for all the homecomings, too.
And it warmed up nicely today. It just went shoo.
Yeah,
after a cold morning.
Yeah, very cold morning. It was the coldest morning we've seen so far for a lot of the area. It was well below freezing, even at the coastline during the overnight hours. And this morning, frost everywhere. Again, very, very cold night last night, but we warmed up nicely for today. A little breezy out of the southwest. Breezes are tending to settle on down. Skies are mostly cleared through the area. And we're going to see some conditions that, while it's warmer, it'll be warmer tomorrow for some parts of the area. And for other parts, it'll actually stay about the same. But there's a big storm going on into the Midwest. We alluded to this fact earlier. It's really going to hit parts of the Central Plains states, Southern Plains states as well, and it will eventually affect us. Here are things between now all the way into Wednesday evening, showing you what's going on. You can see a lot of rain dropping on through, especially in the northern portion of our area during the first part of the day on Wednesday, and then by Thursday, this cold front will move on throughout our area. Now, again, we are looking at temperatures again to be a little warmer tomorrow for some parts of the area, and for much of the area, it'll be pretty close to the same, and it'll really warm up coming up during the day on Wednesday. Lots of sunshine for the day today. There is some cloud cover off to the west, and we'll see a little more cloud cover drop in from the north during the overnight hours. Southwest winds have been 10 to 20 during the day today. They'll be 10 to 15 miles an hour tomorrow, really during the overnight hours, and then they'll settle down a bit for tomorrow morning at 7. Now, here's a little bit of a fly in the ointment for our forecast for tomorrow. Some of us will be warmer tomorrow, and others of us will really be kind of the same. Here's a look at what's going on with that front dropping on into the area. At the noon hour, we'll see the Middle Peninsula, the Northern Neck, Eastern Shore start to cool down a bit, and that'll settle in to most of the Hampton Roads area during the afternoon hours. So I think we'll see our high temperature for the day in these areas fairly early in the day, and then temperatures will settle back on down during the afternoon hours. East winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, but have no fear, because this front, which is going to drop in, will lift on out overnight and warm right back up again, even in a big way for Wednesday. We'll see a southerly wind at 10 miles an hour, and you look at all that rain to the north. We can see it moving through the Northern Neck, Middle Peninsula, middle part of the day, 10 to 20 mile an hour winds. Here's where we are by the end of the day, 15 to 20 mile an hour winds and some scattered rainfall. Again, mostly clear skies, but look at the breeze. You can see it blowing across the water here out of the southwest, and right now we've got temperatures which are into the low 50s after seeing highs today into the mid 50s. 29 was our low last night. Well, lots of areas got even colder than that. Again, mostly low 50s right now into the area. Here are the lows last night throughout the area, 25 to 29 degrees. And again, you can see it on a wider basis. High temperatures for today, basically 55, 56, 57 degrees. Now, it's not going to be too much different than that for most of us tomorrow, but look at Wednesday, 70 degrees. 63 on Thursday, chance of rain on Friday and Saturday, 51 on Christmas Day, 45 and some rain next Monday.
Traveling during the holidays, it can be stressful, but we're on your side to make sure that your trip is as stress-free as possible. What you should know before you leave for the airport.
And new details tonight about the group accused of holding several people with disabilities captive inside a basement, by the alleged ringleaders facing even more charges. Next at 5:30.
A lot of you are going to be on the road. AAA expects about 30% of the total U.S. population to leave home for the holidays. Most of the 92 million Americans plan to hit the road, with only 6% taking to the skies. And prices at the pump, they're falling, which means holiday travel just got a little bit cheaper. The average price of a gallon of gas is $3.22, still 24 cents higher than a year ago. Then on your side, check to see what the average was in Hampton Roads, and AAA says it's $3.09. Hopefully, this trend will continue at the pump.
And more than 5 million people will take to the air this holiday season. Experts say this is the time of year when it pays to travel smart. Here are some easy to follow tips before you head out the door. Arrive early because security lines will be long. Make sure your pockets are empty so you can move quickly through the machines. Get your seats early because airlines will bump those without assigned seats first. And of course, always have a backup plan.
The earlier you do anything along the way, the better equipped you are to deal with situations as they come up.
Make sure that you know and have your airline's 1-800 number programmed and on speed dial in your phone.
And remember to always check your flight's status before you head out the door. That way you won't spend hours waiting for a delayed flight at the airport.
No fun.
Not at all. Well, think about everything you heard this year.
What was the most memorable? Yale is out with its annual list. You'll hear the top quote of 2011.
And making sure your children's toys are safe. Up next at 5:30, how the government's adopting tougher safety standards.
We are the 99%. Number one.
Check, 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 1, 2, 1, 2. Check, check, check.
Protester was the time. Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
We are the 99%. Yale University listed the Occupy Wall Street protesters' slogan as the top quote of 2011. That list includes other statements from the financial crisis. For instance, billionaire Warren Buffett complained that the super rich have, quote, been coddled long enough by a billionaire-friendly Congress, end quote. Oops! From Republican presidential candidate Rick Perry, and oh wow, oh wow, oh wow, the last words of Apple co-founder Steve Jobs also made that list. You'll find a complete list on WAVY.com under U.S. News. And while you're there, go to the news page, click on our Year in Review, and check out the timelines and view photo galleries of the top news stories of the year. And we have more news stories coming up on WAVY News 10 at 5:30. It starts right now.